Okay, so picture this, a dark and stormy night, a lone car on a deserted highway, and suddenly a figure appears in the headlights. A hitchhiker, drenched and desperate for a ride. This is where the story gets creepy. The driver, feeling uneasy but also kind of sorry for the hitchhiker, pulls over. The hitchhiker gets in, mumbles a destination, and then vanishes into thin air. This legend has been around for ages, with different versions popping up all over the world. I mean, who hasn't heard the one about the ghostly hitchhiker who disappears from the back seat, leaving behind only a wet seat and a chilling silence? But is it true? I mean, really, really true? Turns out most of these stories are just that, stories. There's rarely any concrete evidence to support them. It's like playing a giant game of telephone, with details getting twisted and exaggerated with each retelling. Plus, let's be real, if every hitchhiker disappeared, wouldn't we have more evidence than just spooky campfire stories? Don't get me wrong, I love a good ghost story as much as the next person, but sometimes the truth is way less paranormal and way more human error. Maybe the driver just imagined things, or the hitchhiker hopped out for a smoke without telling anyone. Hey, stranger things have happened, right? All right, this one's not for the squeamish, so buckle up. We've all heard the rumors, whispered in hushed tones, about the infamous Kentucky Fried Rat. The story goes something like this. Someone bites into their crispy, juicy fried chicken, only to discover it's not chicken at all, it's a deep-fried rat. I know, it's enough to put you off fried chicken for life. This urban legend plays on our deepest fears about food contamination and corporate greed. I mean, the thought of a fast food chain accidentally serving up rodents is the stuff of nightmares, right? But hold on a sec. Before you swear off fried chicken forever, let's look at the facts. It turns out there's never been a single verified case of this happening, ever. Think about it. For a story this big, wouldn't there be photographic evidence, lawsuits, health department shutdowns? Exactly, it's just not logical. Plus, experts have pointed out that the anatomy of a rat just doesn't match the shape of a chicken drumstick. So, next time you hear someone whispering about the Kentucky Fried Rat, you can confidently say it's just a big, fat, greasy myth. Okay, this one always gets me, because who doesn't love a good alligator story? The legend goes that alligators, yes, you heard that right, alligators are living in the sewers beneath New York City. They say these scaly creatures were brought back as pets from Florida, then flushed down the toilet when they got too big. Now, I'm no plumber, but flushing a gator down the toilet seems ambitious, to say the least. But hey, it makes for a good story, right? I mean, imagine walking down the street minding your own business when suddenly, bam, a giant alligator bursts out of a manhole ready to drag you into the sewer system. It's like something out of a horror movie. But before you start avoiding the sewers like the plague, let's get real for a second. While it's true that alligators have been found in New York City before, it's incredibly rare. We're talking a handful of cases over several decades, and most of them were probably abandoned pets, not sewer-dwelling monsters. Plus, the sewer system is not exactly the ideal environment for a cold-blooded reptile. It's dark, it's cold, and there's not a lot of food down there, so while the idea of alligators lurking beneath our feet is terrifyingly exciting, it's probably best left to the movies. Remember Pop Rocks, those candy crystals that explode in your mouth? Well, back in the day, there was a rumor that mixed those sugary treats with soda, and you were in for a very bad time. We're talking about your stomach exploding kind of bad time. I know, right? Who comes up with this stuff? The legend claimed that the combination of Pop Rocks, soda, and your stomach acid would create a volatile reaction, basically turning your insides into a ticking time bomb. Kids were warned not to mix the two, and parents panicked, convinced that Pop Rocks were ticking time bombs disguised as candy. But guess what? It was all a big fat lie. Scientists were quick to debunk this myth, explaining that the amount of gas produced by Pop Rocks is tiny, way too small to cause any harm. It's like comparing a firecracker to a sparkler. Sure, they both make noise and light, but one's way more likely to land you in the emergency room. So feel free to enjoy your Pop Rocks with your favorite soda, because your stomach will thank you for it. Or at least it won't explode. Okay, this one's a classic, and it's definitely the spookiest on our list. Bloody Mary, we all know the game, right? You turn off the lights, light some candles, stand in front of the mirror and chant Bloody Mary 3 times, or is it 5 times? Anyway, legend has it that if you do it right, a vengeful spirit named Bloody Mary will appear in the mirror, often covered in blood with a terrifying message or a thirst for revenge. Some versions say she'll scratch your eyes out. Others say she'll drag you into the mirror to live with her forever. Talk about a bad hair day. But like most urban legends, the origins of Bloody Mary are shrouded in mystery. Some say she's the ghost of Mary, Queen of Scots, while others believe she's a vengeful witch or a woman who died tragically. There's no real historical evidence to support any of these claims, and the ritual itself seems to have evolved over time, with different variations popping up all over the world. It's like a spooky game of telephone, with each retelling adding new layers of fear and intrigue. So is Bloody Mary real? Well, that depends on what you believe. There's no scientific evidence to support her existence, but hey, the power of suggestion is a powerful thing. Maybe, just maybe, she only appears to those who truly believe. Or maybe, just maybe, she's just a spooky story we tell ourselves to make those late-night bathroom breaks a little more exciting. So there you have it, guys. 5 famous urban legends debunked. Turns out the truth is often less exciting than the fiction. But hey, that doesn't mean we can't still enjoy a good spooky story, right? After all, these legends have survived for generations for a reason. They tap into our deepest fears, our fascination with the unknown, and our desire to believe in something bigger than ourselves. So the next time you hear a creepy story, take it with a grain of salt. But don't be afraid to let your imagination run wild.